All right, so this is the video for the utility shed part 3. So we're going to add on to our utility shed from parts 1 and 2. Here, there are two basically new things that we're going to do. We're going to do an exterior topographic surface that includes at least one tree, and then we are going to add interior and exterior wall sections. All right, so, oops, my bad. We have to start up Revit, obviously, and open the file. As we're doing this, I will just make a mention that the majority of the work is going to be in the interior and exterior wall sections. This is going to be very similar to what we're going to be doing in the house and stuff like that, house and the library. And then the topographic surface, again, when we do those, you'll have models to work off of. All right, so as this opens, you'll see that it's just starting off with the same file as before. So we have our floor plan with exterior, interior walls, doors, windows, dimensions, 3D view, and our two elevations. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in sections. So you go to first for floor plan, and there's two ways to do a section. Use the quick access toolbar up here, or you can go to view menu and section there. So I'm gonna put in a section. It has to cross over the exterior wall. Make sure it doesn't cross over at a window or a door. And the other thing is this is the view box. So it's looking from here over to here. You see how it crosses over an interior wall? I don't want that. I want to make sure I only look at the exterior wall. So I want to drag it back so I only see an exterior wall. I'm also going to do the same thing for an interior wall. And again, I'm going to drag that back so I don't see the door. All right. Okay. So now if I open this up, I see section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is my exterior. So I'm going to drag the view box down a little bit. Okay, switch it to fine. And then I think just the way it's going to fit on my plan, I think I've kind of already played around with this. I think I need 3/8 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch equals 1 foot. And I'll do the same thing here, change to fine. Notice here that the roof elevation of 8 feet doesn't match up with the roof here. And remember, that's because I have a gable roof and I'm cutting through almost the middle of my building. So, and I attached the wall going up. So the wall here is actually larger than 8 feet. If I wanted 8 foot, I'd have to go to the actual edge here. Either way, I just wanted to point that out. And let's see. So go back, oh, no, to the sections. And I don't think I changed this. I think I want this one to be a little bit small. Yeah, because this is so tall, it's going to mess up my plan. So I'll do 1/4 inch equals a foot and turn off the view box. Go back here, also turn off the view box. Rename this to exterior wall section. And rename this to interior wall section. Okay. And then go to the drawing sheet, drag the exterior wall section out. That'll be pretty good. Interior wall section, drag that out. That'll be pretty good as well. Okay, so let's start annotating. So let's go to the exterior wall section. And you'll see that here's the wall. It comes down to this 4-inch concrete floor. In reality, you probably wouldn't build it this way, where the the wall comes down on top of the floor. The thing that you wouldn't build it this way is where the plywood and the vinyl siding go right up to the edge of the concrete. You probably wrap that over a bit. And the reason being is, like, if water were to come in or something were to come in, you might form a gap here. If you overlap this, that would prevent stuff from coming in here. All right, so I'll show you how to do that. You click on the wall, click on edit type. You're going to want to say preview. And this is the floor plan. So this is looking down onto it. You want to, instead of floor plan modify, you want section modify. So you're looking at the side of it. Zoom in a bit. So again, these are the materials. This is the plywood or the gypsum wallboard inside. The wood stud, again, I didn't make it look any special way. That's plywood, and that's the vinyl siding. All right, so to make that happen, we have to go to edit the structure. You have to click on the modify button right here. You're not going to see this active if you're in the floor plan. All right, see how that grays out? So you want to make sure you're in section modify type attributes. All right, and zoom at the bottom and really zoom in, make sure you can see the plywood and the vinyl. Click on modify, and you got to unlock, click here and unlock it. All right, and then modify here, unlock it. Okay, so let's make sure it's unlocking. Outer boundary. And I think I'm got to be really, so I have to be really careful. Make sure it's highlighted orange, because you saw how I did that a couple times where if I just clicked on it when it was still blue, it just disappeared. So click on it and then move the mouse over till you see the lock icon highlighted in orange, then click on it. So now they're unlocked. All right, and I can double check that by clicking, it's unlocked, clicking, it's unlocked. Say okay, say apply. And now what I have the ability to do is when I click on it, see how I have two down arrows, one over here, one over here. Here I can just drag this down. And that shows how this this part of the wall, the stud and the gypsum wallboard, sits on top of the floor, and this I can drag down to whatever elevation I want. It just estimated. I'm just going to put it down to there. All right, so there's that. Looks like my section box. I need to drag it out a little bit more so I can see all of what's going on here. There you go. This, I don't need that as far over. All right, turn that off now. So now let's start annotating, meaning let's put in the material labels and some information here. All right, so if I go to annotate, which is pretty obvious why, I'm going to put in text, and we'll see if this is the right size. I need text with a leader, so a 2-segment leader. So I'm going to start, from the bottom on to the top. So here, and that is 4-inch poured concrete. And it says it's a 1/4-inch aerial. Let's see if that shows up okay. So that's huge. That text is really, really big. I can use smaller text than that. So what I need to do is edit the text, duplicate, and I want to make it smaller. So instead of 1/4-inch, let's see about making it half that size, so 1/8 inch. Okay, and text size is 1/8 inch. Say okay, and let's see how that looks on the sheet. Still a little on the large side. Actually, no, it looks like it's the same size as a lot of the other text, so we're going to stick with that. So maybe drag that down, make sure I nope. Let's just delete that out and redo it. All right, so text, make sure you select the 1/8 inch. And it's going to be 4-inch poured concrete. All right, I'm going to work from the inside out. So this is, I'm going to make sure it all lines up nice and neat. That was my 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard. So nice drywall. And then this is my 2. I'm realizing I'm going way too fast here. I didn't even put in some stuff that I need. So I'm going to need to go ahead and delete these two. All right, so I need to take my time. So I realized this is a wall. I need a bottom plate, I need a double top plate, and I need insulation. So let's make sure we add that stuff before we start just going ahead and labeling stuff. All right, so we're going to do, let's see, architecture, no. annotate, and or let's do insert. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to add a 2x4 here at the bottom. So insert, load family, and what we need are detail items. All right, detail items, wood and plastic, so division 06, wood and plastic, wood framing, and we need nominal cut lumber sections, meaning the end view. Say okay, and we need 2x4s. So I'm going to use 2x4s for all that. And then the other thing is I'll need a fascia board, 1x10 fascia board, and I'll tell you why. So we're going to include that. All right, so I loaded that. So let's go to component, add the component, and let's see. Oh. So this is in annotate component. That's what I was looking for. Component. So I'm going to use the 2x4 section here. So I have to hit spacebar a few times. So there's my bottom plate and my double top plate. Remember, I'm going to have two of these. One of them lines up right here, and then the other one goes on top. And did that work? Okay, something didn't quite work there. Okay. Oh, something is going over top of it. So every time I add it, it's going away. So I'm going to do Control C, Control V, and then move it into place. All right, there we go. And then my fascia board, if you look at any kind of roof or anything like that, you don't actually see the rafters. Usually there's a board covering it. That's called fascia board. So I can click on component, go to my 1x10. I have, when I did this, I used, these are, let me just, this is a 8-inch wood rafter. So I use a size up from that. That's why it's a 1x10. And so component 1x10, I'm going to move it here, or place it there, and then I'm going to align it. So click on it, click on this, which is the align, and then you click what you want it to align to, and then that. And then now I'll just kind of move it up to right there. And you see that kind of overhangs a little bit. All right, so there's that. Now I need to add my insulation. All right, so you go to annotate insulation. By default, it's 3.5 inches, which is your typical for a 2x4 wall. Select the middle and just go up with it, and it kind of puts in this line right here for you. I can go up a little higher. And then you also want to put it in the ceiling. So insulation. Here, though, it is 2x8, which is 7.25, 7.25. And it's going to be a little too high because it's picking the center. So I'll just put it in and then I'll move it afterwards. All right, and then this just needs to be moved a little bit. I'm going to kind of drag it a little far away, a little bit of the ways away. All right, there we go. There's my insulation. Okay, so now I am ready for comment or for annotation. So annotate text leader 1/8 inch, and now we can go. All right, so that's 4-inch poured concrete. And then working again from the bottom up. This is what made me realize I forgot. This is my 2x4 treated, so pressure treated bottom plate. before I move on, let's double check on my sheet that this is actually working. So that's going way too far over there. So if I go back here, I'm going to need to kind of drag that in a bit and then possibly move this up a bit. Okay, there we have it. All right, so now working from the inside towards the outside. Let's see, so 1/2-inch gypsum wallboard right there. 1/2-inch gypsum wallboard. This is R13 bat insulation. We'll talk about what the R values mean. And then we have 1/2-inch. Oops, I do want to maybe take this, break it down a little bit because I want to point out the stud now. I don't want it to like go up or anything. That's just going to be annoying. All right, there we go. So that's 2x4 stud. I might want to call it wood stud. Pretty standard, but sometimes use metal or something else. So I just want to make sure it's clear as possible. This is our 1/2-inch OSB oriented strand board sheathing. And then we do our 1/2-inch vinyl siding. Vinyl siding. All right, that's it for the wall, except for up here, we have our top plate. So double 2x4 top plate. All right, let's double check how this is starting, how this is looking. So it's still looking pretty good. We do need to do the roof now, so annotate the roof. And so same idea here, kind of work. This time is going to be kind of from the top down. So text, try to all line it up. So asphalt shingles, top layer. Underneath of the asphalt shingles, you typically have like a roofing felt, or if it's older construction, some like tar paper type stuff. So we're going to call it roofing felt. Again, you typically have, so if we look at this roof structure, edit the structure, edit the type, edit the structure, it's 5/8 plywood sheathing. We'll keep it like that. So text. Five-eighths OSB sheathing. And that's the 2x8 roof rafter. And then this is thicker insulation, probably close to a R19 bat insulation because it's 2x8. So we're seeing I'm kind of running over stuff, so I might need to move some stuff a little bit. Let's move that up, make sure it's still showing up correctly. Right about the top. Okay, I can't go any higher, which perfect. Right where I need to be. Okay, move that up. Oops. Move that up. Move that up. And move that up. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is call out this item here. Let's go back to text and it is, and this is kind of bad form. Should have my words go further over, but it is what it is at this point. This is my 1x8 fascia board. All right. So there we have our exterior wall section. Interior wall section is quite a bit easier. We just need to add the 2x4 let's see, hit spacebar. So that's our 2x4 bottom plate and our double top plate. So here, the way you'd have it is you just double check. So yeah, right here we have our top plate, then our second top plate, and then above that you'd have your rafters. I don't know why that always keeps on disappearing on me. So put it there, then drag it. Okay. And let's annotate this. Since it's an interior wall, you wouldn't have any kind of insulation unless you wanted it for soundproofing reasons. So again, that's our 4-inch poured concrete floor. 2x4 pressure treated bottom plate. Probably gonna need to drag that in a bit. Drag it up. And then we have half-inch gypsum wallboard, 2x4 stud, wood stud, half-inch gypsum wallboard. There we go. Half-inch gypsum wallboard. And then our double top plate. Double 2x4 double top plate. That's not enough. So maybe you need to drag that up a little bit. Double check our down here. Okay, that's a little too far over. All right, so down here, I need to drag these lines in. And then I can drag this over. And I might need to then click on that and just drag this back over. Okay. Could do the same thing here, drag this over a bit, and then drag this over. And this whole thing, click on it, maybe just use the arrow key to bring it down a little bit. All right, so there's my wall sections. This is kind of ugly to have this just showing up here. So if I go to east, I don't want that showing up. I could click on it, right click, say, or yeah, click on it down here, right click. If you didn't get it right, click off of it, then click on it again, right click. So you see this right here, hide and view element. Okay, let's go back, double check, see if I need to, okay, I have another one on the north. So click on it, right click, hide and view element. I want it to only show up in the floor plan. I don't want the sections to show up on the elevations. All right. And that's it for the wall section. So now the last thing I need to do is the topo surface. So if you go to site, because that's what it is, site plan, here's the roof of my shed. I'm looking down onto it. And so to put in a topo surface, you go to massing and site, topo surface. Just before I, X out of it, just want to kind of highlight a few things before I jump in. Current elevation of the floor is at 0 feet. So when I do my topo surface, I want it to be right at the ground level. So if I hit topo surface, I want the elevation around the shed to be at 0 feet. So I'm just going to put in a bunch of dots, meaning spot elevations, like a surveyor would do. And then from there, you usually want the ground to slope away from your building. So I'm going to go to a negative half a foot, so negative 0 and 0 space 6 inches. I'm going to basically put in almost like a little ditch going around. And then we go back up to 0. And then I'm going to go up to maybe a foot. And these are topographic lines, elevation lines. And then I can go up to maybe 1.5 feet. Put in kind of a berm here. No need to really go that much, further out or anything like that. Let's see. That's really kind of it. Okay, so it's going to make that topo surface. You're not really seeing much, so let's go to fine, but we also can kind of see it a bit different with hidden colors. All right, so what's happened here is I put in a topo surface, and it's kind of not really showing up very well here, so let's drag this out a bit. And it looks really ugly. It looks like a big mound of dirt. All right, so let's do the same thing, change it to consistent colors, and it's really kind of ugly. I can even be a little bit better with clicking on realistic. But the reason is when I click on it, the material is just by category. So not sure. Let's go back to site and actually change it to a material that I would hope to have, and like a grass or something like that. So I'm looking for, if you go to, you should be able to find material for like site or something like that. So I'm not finding anything. So let's, so I need to load a material for like grass or something like that. So open existing library. Oops, let's try this again. Let's find so I'm trying to find a material for for grass essentially. So if I click on this, I can maybe edit the surface, and that's not what I want. So here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, let's see, what's the material type? It's just material by category. So I'm looking for earth. Let's see if anything shows up. Earth. What about grass? Nope. So site. Yeah, so earth is what it is currently, and that's kind of why, earth just being dirt, and that's why it's showing up like that. So what I can do is I can duplicate this. Duplicate selected material. Let's rename it, grass. And let's change the appearance. So click on this button here and go to Appearance Library, Site Work. And this is what I was trying to look for. You can scroll down until you see different colors of grass. So I'll just do grass generic. Okay, there it is, grass generic. And hit apply, hit OK. And hopefully when I'm in 3D view, it looks a lot better. There you go. The reason it's not quite showing up that great here is because when I changed it, the graphics here are not, what I wanted. So, I could use like a dark green or something like that and say apply, okay. And now it shows up like that in consistent colors, and then realistic, it shows up with the grass. Okay. So now again, there it is. So let's shrink this down. But don't forget, one of the requirements was to have a tree on there. So turn off this section box. You can do site component. That's the RPC deciduous tree. Whatever, if you're interested in landscape architecture, maybe you know that. So I'm just going to put in a few trees around my shed. There we go. If you want to see more of how this really looks, I'm going to hit escape a few times. On the section box. So there's some of the trees that I just put in. All right, I'm going to, if I keep it like that, it's going to really mess up this. Oops. So if I look here, it made it way too big. So that's why I keep on shrinking it down. Let's go back to 3D view. Let's shrink this down. Okay. Turn off the section box and go back to this. And it looks really good up here. The problem is I see the trees in my floor plan as well as in my elevation views, and I don't because the trees are just going to get in the way. So what you can do is go to the east elevation, find a tree, right click on it, hide in view category. If you just do element, it'll hide one of the trees, whereas if you do category, it'll hide all of the trees. Category, and then floor plan, same thing, right click, hide in view category. All right, and now go here. We have pretty much, and you see how much slower it goes now because of the extra graphics added into it. All right, that looks like it pretty much should look. Oh, again, even here I'm realizing you don't see kind of the base anymore because of the berms I put in. So I should have done, go to the east, hide the topo surface, hide that, north, hide the topo surface, hide that, and go back here. All right, now we are good. Okay, if there's anything else, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's go ahead and print this. So you go to the printer icon, remember, Adobe PDF, properties, we'll do smallest file size. The size should be architectural B. Say OK. It's a single sheet, so I don't need to copy anything. Hit preview. And looks good. Hit print. And OK. All right, and when that prints, go ahead, call it V3 because it's our third version. Go ahead and submit that. If you have any questions, again, please let me know.